Before we start, just understand this is not a signal service. Everything you see here is for educational purposes only. Trading involves risk, and the goal here is not to follow trades, it's to learn the process behind them.
Good morning, and welcome to I'm the Trader Capital live trading floor. It is Monday, June 29th. First and foremost, all glory to the Most High God. Let's bow our heads for a quick prayer. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for your grace and your mercy. We thank you for another opportunity to try again to learn and grow in these markets. Father, I ask that your will be done today as it is in heaven. Father, we ask that you give us the heart of a giver and make us a lover of our neighbor. Please let me not lead anyone that listens to me astray, but use me as a vessel to bring your children back onto you. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Can the church say amen? Amen. Let's begin. Before I just want to say this. There was a time I used to sit down at the charts with no real plan, jumping between strategies, losing, blowing accounts, second guessing every entry, and honestly just hoping that the trade would work. And that's where most traders are today, not because they're not capable, but because they don't have a structured process. The biggest pitfalls that causes traders to fail is that they have no knowledge on money, they don't know how to lose, they don't know how the markets operate, and they don't have a winning model. 90% of traders fail, all 90% are plagued with one or more of these pitfalls. Today, I'm going to show you the 3 pillars that every trader must have in their trading to survive and thrive in the financial markets, so you can join the 10% who succeed and fast track your way to the top 1% of the wealthiest people on this planet. It's called the 10% to 1% club. Let's go. Woo! But before we dive deep into the 3 core pillars, when you step into this arena, on this battlefield, you must first have 2 crucial realizations. Realization number 1, trading is war. This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is the hardest thing that you will ever do in your life. Realization number 2, all traders are money managers. As a trader, your ability to manage money is vital to your survival in this industry and in life as we know it. Most traders think that success in the markets comes from finding the perfect strategy or catching the biggest moves. But the reality is, trading success is built on 3 core pillars. First is money and mindset. This is the foundation of success. Then is risk management. This is the holy grail of trading. This is what will keep you in the game long after everybody else has quit. And lastly, we have trading edge. This is where all traders start. I know this because this is where I started. That's why in today's session, we're going to hone in on your trading edge. Now, everything that we do here is built around one thing, and that is confidence in your trading edge. And at I'm the Trader Capital, our confidence comes from 3 things. First, it comes from understanding how the market actually operates. Not what social media says, but how money truly moves. Second is having one trader model. One model with IPDA signatures that we trust and execute on a consistent basis. Third is having a plan and a process, because without a plan and a process, you're just reacting to price and you're winging it each and every time. And this right here, this session, this is where we focus on the 3rd piece, the process. So many people lose confidence in trading and in life because they simply don't have a plan. There's no process they're following. There's no procedures and protocols that they're abiding by. They literally are just winging it. And they wonder why they can't get consistent. They wonder why there's ups and downs in their equity curves. They literally can't figure it out. The uncertainty of not knowing exactly what you're doing, how you're doing it, why and when you're doing it in the market will cause you to fail in trading. Confidence and certainty are key if you want to be successful in trading, and it's your responsibility as the trader, as the analyst, as the fund manager. It's your responsibility to attain that confidence, not only in your model, but also in your processes. So what I want to do right now real quickly is I want to share with you the process that we teach all our analysts at I'm the Trader Capital, and then we'll see that process live in action. This is the 3-step trading process. Step 1, condition. This is where we determine our bias. Before we even think about entering a trade, we need to know the market program. Are we in a buy program or sell program? This is where the market shows its hand. Then we have step 2, stage. This is what sets up your trade and what does your trade look like. There are 2 types of trades, retracement setups and continuation setup. Then we have step 3, execution. This is how you're going to enter, manage, and close the trade. At Am the Trader Capital, we have 4 entry criteria before executing. I'm not here to force trades. I'm here to execute my plan step by step in real time. All right, let's get into the live trading flow. Now, as you're watching, don't just look for entries. Pay attention to the process behind the entries, because this is what will get you into the 10% of traders who succeed. And if you want to go further to the 1%, well, that's where we break down all 3 pillars inside of the program. I used to think that winning trades built confidence, but it's not the wins. It's knowing exactly what you're doing it, how you're doing it, and why you're doing it before, during, and after each trade. And that is what we're building here. Let's begin with our daily trading processes. Weekly target going into this week is 3%. Mental check-in, feeling generally okay. All right, excited to see what price action has in store for us today. Excited to continue to grow and get 1% better. I already feel like the growth from last week, this month alone has just been incredible. And I can't believe the month's already coming to an end. Bloody hell. We're already like over halfway through the year already. Damn. But nothing of note to mention really going on up here. I find a lot of internal battles, but nothing really of note to mention. I accept any risk that comes to trading today. I understand that trading comes with real risk and that losing is part of the battle. News is Monday, June 29th. As you can see on Econo Day right now, on Monday here, we have no medium to high impact news. However, it is NFP, right? It's NFP week, right? We're not going to have NFP on Friday because of bank holiday, so it's coming out on Thursday. So it's NFP week, all right? This is the only week where we can trade on Monday without needing to have any news, okay? That's why I'm here today, because I looked at the calendar today. I'm like, there's no news. Okay, I can go back to sleep. But then I realized, okay, this month is coming to an end, so NFP is like around the corner. So let's confirm whether NFP is happening this week or not, because I knew obviously Friday was going to be a bank holiday, but obviously they moved it to Thursday. So right, we have NFP coming out on Thursday. This is not the week, this last week. Yep, as you can see, non-farm payroll, employment situation coming out right here. Okay, so we don't have news today, but it's NFP week, so we can take a trade on what is an optimal day to take a trade, depending on what our opening range gap is looking like, right? Risk going into today, we're at 0.25 of account size still, and we have a max of 0.75. I'm gonna adjust that soon, okay? Just trying to collect more data in what I'm looking for in price, okay? But I like what I'm seeing, but for now, I'm gonna remain with my risk where it's at. Weekly program hasn't been established yet, okay? I'll need to see today's range to be done, complete, and then that will give me a Monday's range, which I'll wait for one side of that to get taken. That will give me my weekly program. But let's go ahead and adjust our higher time frame ranges and get into our our 3-step trading process, because this is our daily processes right here that we're in. Friday, I'm so sorry about Friday. Me so sorry. I didn't even get to back test this weekend. It's a shame. I did a little bit on my phone, but not really. 20-day look back. We're good on that. Let's adjust previous weeks, because obviously, let me delete previous weeks and get previous week in here. Let's get previous day. Let me see if that's synced globally as well. Yep. Alright, so if you're using previous day to determine your condition, alright, you still would be waiting. Alright, we haven't taken either side yet. We got a closer below this inefficiency on the 4-hour here. Drawn liquidity is 20-day low. Got relatively equal lows down here. seeing how price gravitates towards that. Left a small portion of this daily inefficiency open. It's a sign of weakness. Q. On the 4 hour here, we have the remainder of this up here, taking previous day's high here. So let's see how that plays out there. We're ready to continue. Good morning. Why is it putting asterisks on our messages? But anyway, different week, different day, same processes. Nothing changes around there. We establish our dealing range. Above that, we go Asia session buy side from Thursday, June 25th. Special day there. And we go previous daily high above that, and we'll leave it at that. If we need to go any higher, we'll get what we need. But for now, we have AM session buy side on the same day, Thursday. Please don't be slow today. Don't do it to me. Below dealing range now. We go Asia session sell side. As potential draws on liquidity, depending on which side gets taken. We got a previous daily low, which is Thursday. This thing can't be right, can it? Bear with me, please. I have about a couple more seconds. I guess from 6 p.m. right, it's counting it as anyway. Below, we also have Friday's AM session sell side. And that will be enough for today. We're ready for kickoff. We're ready for 9:30 opening bell. All right. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, decent sized open range gap. So making it an optimal day today to take a trade. First day of the week back. Monday. Let me make love on Thursday and then Friday and Saturday. Chill on Monday. Hold on. I'll see what open range gap is saying in a second. It's below price. Okay, so we gapped up. So we have a premium gap up. This thing's a bit slow, I'm not gonna lie. also didn't shut down my computer all weekend, so even though I didn't even use it one time, should probably just shut the bitch down. How you know my shit is slow? Got our first Prezi on a 15-second time frame. On my way to dealing range buy side here. First Prezi on a 1 minute. Already have buy side above dealing range, okay, so it can smash these two. Market structure below, all right, I'll be interested in a retracement there. 100%. So this would need to be the low. Everything's a little bit slow right now, so please bear with me. Have some patience with me. Hitting trade 2 and through dealing range buy side, okay, into this buy side here, so there's nothing for me to do down here. Create relative equal highs though. See what this price action wants to do. It's NFP Monday. So it's a money and mindset Monday. Back into our segments. Oh, inside dealing range, we have London session sell side, which price came to snatch up. I didn't even realize that. Right in here, snatched it up. waiting for, obviously, deal range to be taken first. Right now, I'm just being proactive, or I'm just being proactive. Don't be slow. All right, so we've got the alert here that we've taken buy side. All right, session daily condition has been established as a buy program. Targeting previous daily high right now is current draw on liquidity. You're late, but the phone came in quicker as it was happening. I already told you this is about to be slow today. Don't know why. The computer didn't get no rest this weekend, so that's probably why. Just need a market structure shift down here because we took buy side above external liquidity here, okay? Asia session buy side. So I just require a market structure shift back below external liquidity for an interest. Nothing for me here yet. Draw on liquidity right now is previous daily high. If it doesn't give me the opportunity, it doesn't give me the opportunity. We keep it pushing and we wait patiently. If it does now give me a market structure shift back up here, I'll be interested in a continuation to previous daily high. If it gives it, I'm interested. If it doesn't, I'm not. Oh, hold on. Just waiting for that market structure shift. I need a body closure, okay? Because we're already in the premium and I'm buying in the premium. So I'm waiting for a body closure above that market structure shift. I want to see a body closure because I'm buying in the premium. So I require an additional, confluence. All right, this now the market structure shift here that needs to go. So we can adjust this to here. Let me delete this for now. Oh. Gave me the entry, set my limits. Let's see if we're tagged in here. Can bring this back. This is a bit slow right now, so just bear with me, man. Stop will need to be what market structure shift is here, so this is the stop. $5.50 tagged in there is out of my hands. 950 macro also kicking off. What just happened here? Anything less than 721 is fine. So 74, 75.50. About to get smashed out of that first loss. Nothing wrong with that. That's fair. I still need a body closure here, but I'll wait a little bit more and watch this. Not in a rush to get back in right now. Let's close this. Delete. Let's get a quick snapshot. Let's get rid of this here for my picture. Cool, we got that. See the outcome of that. 154, fair enough, that's cool. On to the next. Losses are the only thing promised to us here, all right? Still no body closure here. Not that I'll be interested, I'll be waiting for 950 macro to present its own setup. Okay, now we've got that body closure here. I'm watching this as a continuation to the previous day's high. Sorry. That's what I want. Seven, 2, 4. Below, so it'll be bodies. Looking at bodies here. Da 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 da. See if he'll give me a contract here. I doubt it though. Oh, sugar. Said what? You were doubting me? Bear with me, this thing is still slow here on my end. He allowed me one contract, so I'm going for it. Using bodies, because this range is over 100 points here. See if he gives me an entry. If he doesn't, it's cool. Da 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 da. Okay, can't be doing too much on today's I can't be doing too much here. Now before, I was using, it would have to hit -2 for me to be no longer interested. So I'm gonna stick with that for now and keep collecting data on it, because I did collect data and I came up with -2. I'm no longer interested in the trade, and I will actually cut the trade. So if it doesn't give me an entry, it is what it is, isn't it? gonna have to let it go. O'clock's about to be open range. This thing is slow. Waiting for this 1 minute candle to close. No longer interested in this setup here. We've hit -2 here, so okay. Things are a little bit slow on my end here, and it's jarring me. It's a little bit jarring. So slow. Don't be slow with me, man. Don't be slow with me. In my line of work, I cannot afford slow stuff, you know? Consequent encroachment of open range gap is in close proximity to dealing range sell side. So if we take it now, all right, buys for the day will be flipping to sales, and we'll be targeting Asian session sell side since we took buy side here already. This will be a retrace to reverse if we take dealing range sell side. Taking open range sell side here, our session bias has been confirmed as a sell program going against the daily. A2, A2, A2. Until we take dealing range sell side, all right, our daily is still a buy program. This also would have been a technical potential entry because this one candle took the sell side too. So let's see on a 15 second if we took any other low. Took this low here. Anyway, let me focus. Sevens, we're looking at 8. Taking dealing range sell side, all right. Daily condition has been established, okay, now as a sell program in line with the session condition. We had a reversal, all right, a retrace to reverse scenario here. Now I'm anticipating lower prices, but bear with me 1 second as I figure this trade. I put these stuff, 8, yep, right there. We had a continuation, okay, we took open range sell side. All right, we came back into an inefficiency above it. Market structure shift back below. It's cleaner. The inefficiency is on a 1 minute, but the market structure shift obviously is on the 15 seconds here. Stop is above because this candle is the one involved in the fair value gap. Obviously, I can put it up here, but I just want to be safe, right? So I'm putting it above this candle high. the first candle in the fair value gap. Targeting Asia session sell side right now. You can go ahead and delete this. I'm using 15 seconds. I can actually adjust the stop to this high because there's no inefficiencies on the 15 seconds. So that's always an option, something I need to start paying attention to now. Using the 15 seconds to obviously reduce the risk on my trade. Anyway, let me no sync this and pay attention here because we could get potential retracement set up. Another market structure shift down in here would confirm another continuation sell. I want to no sync this. Take sell side below external liquidity. Market structure shift here will confirm a retracement setup. Do you want to see price take this low though? Will boost confidence in my setup right now. But stop wise, I think I can reduce the stop because there's no inefficiencies. Everything's pretty much balanced. So I can go to the high of this inefficiency. I mean of this candle right here. What's the high of this candle? We're looking at 582.25. Probably would have given me more contracts. No, that's not the entry. Entry was here. Let me delete that, sorry. So a lot going on right now. I like this, all right? I like this for my current trade. It's confirming another continuation sell setup. Yeah, still would have been one contract regardless, so leave it alone. Would have got bread and butter there. Do not want to see a market structure shift here. A re-entry right here is plausible. Okay. Came back below external liquidity, back above into inefficiency. Took liquidity above it. Market structure shift back below it here even. So you had the earlier entry over there, up here. But this is the one that I saw cleanly. I wasn't even paying attention to that. Now we're targeting Asia session sell side. Because we had a retrace the reverse scenario here, where we took dealing range buy side initially. Okay, we're in a buy program. We had a retracement set up that obviously didn't offer us an opportunity to get into that market, and then it took dealing range sell side, reversing and flipping bias for the morning session. Let me. It's technically a 1 minute entry, but let's unsync it on the 1 minute because there we go, taken out. Thank you very much, appreciate it. Okay, so now I'm gonna collect data. Thank you very much. 210. I'm gonna collect data on Monday, like open range sessions, specifically on obviously on days we have news. I'm fine with it, but on NFP Mondays, maybe I want to be waiting until post opening range to anticipate a trade. Okay, so I'm gonna collect data, all right, on on open range setups during NFP Mondays, okay? Or yeah, NFP Mondays. But yeah, solid setup there. Let's see what else this trade will offer us. We're hitting our drawn liquidity Asia session sell side here. Depending on how price behaves here, okay, we might want to draw towards these old lows. And then AM session sell side. Was it AM session? Yeah, AM session sell side from Friday, and we have previous daily low below that as well. So one winner, one loss here today. Wouldn't have got negative 1.5 yet. Anyway, let me get my snapshot here. This one's still going, but it didn't give us an opportunity for an entry. Potentially a lower low, right? We did have lower lows that we could have potentially, obviously this one candle took, hold on. We also took a low. It also took this low here, or this low as well. We had this low and we also had this low for an opportunity for an entry. Okay. So I'm going to delete that for now and we'll review that later. Negative 1.5 getting smashed there. Negative 2 smash there. Or the re-entry here. Let's see what the re-entry would have given us here. Negative 2.5. One contract. But this one here, 3 contracts. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Losses don't even faze me no more. It don't do it. It's just cost of doing business, isn't it? What's this that is drawn out so largely over here? So potentially on NFP Mondays, I want to trade post opening range, and on Fridays we don't trade lunch. On Fridays we don't trade lunch, strictly AM and PM session. Done for the morning, really. Next trade I take will be, depending on post first hour of trading, 10:30. If we have something super clean, maybe I'll engage. But as far as my morning session, I got my 2 trades, 1 loss, 1 winner. I'm done for the morning here. Let's get a quick video. The account that was in drawdown is now up, and the account that was up, the 100 200Ks, is now in drawdown. It's crazy, isn't it? So really, my exit should be framed on this high here, because that was the high. Yeah, that's that candle high. Should have been framed, because that's why I framed my risk on. Because if you look on the 15 seconds, everything here is balanced. There's no inefficiencies, it's balanced. Really could have went, yeah, right here on stopwise. But that's something I'll collect data on. But money and mindset, money and mindset. I'm actually like in a new phase of life right now. I'm going for my Series 7 license. But in order to do that, I need to first take it, the SIE, Securities Industry Essentials. So I'm going to be studying. I'm officially a student again. No, I'm always a student of life, right? Student of the market. But I'm officially back into student mode. Not officially anyway, but soon we'll be back into student mode. punching this V-shape retracement setup here. That is just wild how these two flipped. They just flipped the script, boy. Craziness. $150 is below 200, so I'm giving myself another opportunity during PM session, maybe post open range there to engage in another setup on that account that just took a L. But if the loss was above 200, it would be done for the day here. This is a setup that I personally would not engage in, okay? Because it's out of my trading time, but still, we're still in morning session, right? Still a decent hour. Not for me personally. All right, this is a V-shape. A V-shape took sell side, external liquidity, previous daily low. Not this current previous daily low, but another previous daily low. Displacement, market structure, shift back above. Fair. Meets all the criteria. Except for me right now, didn't meet time. But doesn't make it a valid setup, right? Somebody could still partake in this trade. Another one on the 1 minute here too. Actually, took sell side below it here. Even better. Hold on. Market structure shift back above. Obviously not my setup, but still valid. Still valid retracements. Yeah. We had the V shape, liquidity raid, market structure shift back above. All good, all great setups, all great setups. -1 on that. Probably would have given you just the one contract. Yep. And you'd be out of this one already. Let's go over here to this one. Entry wouldn't have been until down here. Stop here. Give you 2 contracts, so still -1, aiming for -1. -1 right there. Bing bang biggity bosh. Already got -2. -2.5 on that one. Let's go to the high one on the 1 minute. Let's just say you saw it on the 1 minute, the V shape entry on the 1 minute. Yep. One contract, -1 also smashed. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Just for me personally, it's not for me. Also came back below this week's opening price. It's NFP Mondays, Money and Mindset Monday. Get your mind right on your money. as we begin the work week. First hour of trading is about to be behind us. Solid setups this morning. Just happened that the first one we took was an L. Nothing wrong with that though. Losses are the only thing promised to us. We embrace them, and they literally mean nothing to me right now. It's literally a cost of doing business. Like, I take a loss, fine, it stings for a little bit, but I'm like, okay, just wait for the next setup, and it is what it is, right? Saying that it doesn't sting would be a lie, because it does sting sometimes. If it's all the time it stings, I'm like, damn, I wish I didn't take that loss, but it's all part of the game, it's all part of the battle. Money and mindset, all right, the foundation of success. If you don't have your mindset on money correct, there's no point. There's no point in anything that you do, really and truly, if you don't have the correct mindset on money, right? You're always going to be stuck in the race, always stuck in the rat race on the wheel if you don't have the correct thinking on money. Okay, so that's why when the week begins and the week ends, I always want to get you mind on your money, money on your mind. All right, so you know what you're doing when first day of the week and last day of the week, right? So you don't go into the weekend splashing your money like 90% of the population do. Okay, when it comes to money, when somebody says money and mindset, what does that even mean to you? What does that mean to you? What is your mindset on money right now? What currently do you believe to be true about money that potentially is not the truth, right? You haven't done any research, you haven't dug into it to see whether there's truth behind it, right? What do you currently believe to be true about money that isn't true? That is the first question you have to ask yourself when you're trying to rewire your thinking on money. All right, understand your mindset on money. Close above it, use it as an inversion. I'm watching it. I'm watching. First Prezi on 15-minute time frame. Until we come and take buy side up here, I'm still anticipating lower prices. Okay, this could be a potential retracement into a premium to then continue lower. We have the 3 completed right there. We have this low below. External liquidity, opening range sell side. Taking buy side there. Now, when I initially got into trading, I didn't really know much about money aside from needed money, all right, to take care of my basic necessity, my bills, my feeding, just to take care of myself. Really, I needed money to do that, and that's all I knew about money, really and truly. Growing up, that's all I knew about money, right? My mom, single mother of 2 at the time, now is of 3. She didn't really know much about money aside from that she needed money to take care of herself and her kids, right? Provide a better life for her children. That's pretty much all she knew about money. She didn't really teach me much about money, right? What she did teach me about money is the grind, right? The go-getter mindset to like focus on getting your money, right? Because you need it, right? It's a necessity, and it's a necessity in life. We live on an economical planet. Everything that we do, all right, revolves, not everything that we do, but majority of the things that we do revolves around money, right? It's an economical planet. Money is imperative, is important to your survival on this planet, okay? Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. So aside from knowing that I needed it really and truly, and that I got the mindset of, you know, money on my mind and just grinding hard to get to that money from my mom. That's pretty much all I knew. I didn't know anything else, right? When I started to get into trading, that's when I really started to question my thoughts and my beliefs on money. Like, what do I really know about money? I started to seek the information, right? I know I needed it, but like, what else is there to know about money? Like, what do I do with it once I achieve it? Not that I had it, but like, obviously you want to know what to do with it once you get it, because the goal is to get it, right? My goal at the time was to get it, but like, once I get it, what am I going to do with it? So obviously I started doing research, started seeking the information, taking courses, just learning all I could about money, right? Trying to learn from successful individuals that have money, the 1% clubs that have money. We all know somebody that's joined the 1% club. Some people, when they do join the 1% club, they're generous enough to want to share the path in which they took to get there, right? So if you seek the information, it's out there, right? Oh my goodness, please bear with me. Getting hungry all of a sudden, like my stomach is growling. It said, feed me, feed me. Coming to premium here. See how price behaves. This is the low that needs to go, all right, for me to be interested in a trade continuation back to this downside. Nothing wrong tape reading the rest of the morning. As far as entry wise, no more entries for me. I got my 2 trades already. 1 loser, 1 winner. I'm cool, I'm content. Because it is the low that needs to go for me to be interested in price going lower. Let me even see if it would even give me a contract or anything. Yeah, 0, no contract there. But obviously it would be over 100, so stop would be at the body. So let's see. When I use the bodies, I also need to frame the risk on the bodies too. No? Oh, sticky stuff in it. Sticky. Sticky icky. Still respecting this. That's what we framed our sell on. Down here. Oh yeah. Anyway, this is what I was doing. So under the topic of money and mindset, right, we're gonna go over the misconceptions and myths about money. Right, the only 2 things you need to know about money is drop everything else that you know about money right now. And there's only 2 things that you need to know about money, and we'll talk about them today, if we have the time, if we get there. Wealth creation equation and formula. All right, if there's an equation, there's a formula for that equation. All right, and as long as you understand, know the formula, input the correct data into that formula, all right, it doesn't matter the equation. You always, obviously, once you have those 3 things, you're always going to arrive at your destination, arrive at the correct answer. Okay, that's the reason why math was one of my favorite subjects back in school. Okay, the greatest wealth building tool, which I believe is the trading business model. Okay, we go over the money exercise and the $1 billion principles. We'll join that B club, because we're building a $1 billion hedge fund here. Okay, we're trying to join the B club, not the M club. Forget the M's. We're moving on to B's, baby. So when it comes to misconceptions and myths about money, These are the misconceptions and myths about money that we've been taught, that has been ingrained within us, that's keeping us broke, all right? Keeping us from playing this money game, okay? The first one is that money is evil. Bear me 1 second. I need this, I need this, I need it. I need it. I need it. I need it. It's needed right now. Excuse me.
Anaya, wipe those tears. I got you flowers. I'm on my way to the villa right now. You heard? You warm shell from the floor too cold. Fuck. You gonna love it here. I'm gonna treat you better than KC. I don't want that. Anaya, wipe those tears. I got you flowers. I'm on my way to the villa right now. You heard? You warm shell from the floor too cold. Fuck. You gonna love it here. I'm gonna treat you better than KC. I don't want that. Anaya, wipe those tears. I got you flowers. I'm on my...
Ding, 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 ding. Uno momento, por favor. NFP Monday. Still the low. See a closure back below. Easy as a reclaimed fair value gap. So money is evil, right? The belief that pursuing wealth is inherently wrong or greedy. That is a myth, that is a misconception. Money is not evil, right? The saying is the love of money is the root of all evil, okay? Money itself is not evil. It's a tool, right, that we must use to survive on this planet, on this economical planet that we live on, okay? Next is money is hard to get, or it takes money to make money. All right. This belief can discourage people from seeking financial success or investing in their future. If you think money, we've taken that low here. All right. So now I'm anticipating a continuation to the downside. Okay. So let's see how price gravitates lower. I would want to see a body closure here because we're close to a discount. Okay, we're close to the discount. So I want to see a body candle closure, but we have had a body closure below this inefficiency, right? It gets back to its original task of keeping price lower. Don't want to see body closures above 50% of this inefficiency here. And I'm waiting to see a body closure below this market structure shift here, just because of where we're at in the premium and discount. Okay, that's an important aspect to take into consideration, which I haven't been taking into consideration. Now I'm starting to take them into consideration in terms of if I'm buying in a premium, I actually want to see the market structure shift in terms of a body closure, just to for additional confluence. All right, because I'm already buying already high prices. Okay, so anyway, money's hard to get, or it takes money to make money. This belief can discourage people from seeking financial success or investing in their future. All right, if you think money is hard to get, all right, what's money going to be? It's always going to be, we've got that closure here. So now I will be setting a limit order. Obviously, if it gave me the opportunity, because right now in terms of risk, it wouldn't give me an entry. However, if I put on a body, which it will be framed on the bodies, it will give me one contract. So we'll watch it based on the bodies. In terms of trading though, nothing for me to do. Would be here. This would be the lowest body. Anyway, right here we got a setup here. Traded 2 and 3 external liquidity, came up into this inefficiency in here inside of the 1 minute inefficiency. At the 15-second inefficiency inside of a 1 minute inefficiency right here. Market structure shift back below. That is an entry. I'm also watching this. Would stop on this swing high here. Taking liquidity below, market structure shift back above. This one would obviously take us out of the 15-second time frame setup and confirm a retracement. So it would have been taken out this one, which is fair. Nothing wrong with that loss. Let me no sync this, but this is what I'm watching, this continuation sell. But now we've got a retracement buy here. We do have opening range buy side. We are using opening range sell side here. So I'm watching this. Would have been tagged in there. Would be heading to -1 already. Let's close this. One contract, so -1. And right there. Thank you very much. Appreciate ya. Go watch it. Let's no sing this. I'll be getting out of here soon though. My morning session is done. This would have been it. -5 is close proximity to previous daily high. I like that. I'm watching this going into lunch session. 1050 macro. It doesn't take money to make money, all right? It takes these 4 things that everybody on this planet is endowed with. God has given you all these 4 things, all right? It takes courage, it takes persistence, it takes creativity, and it takes action. Action, courage, creativity, persistence. These are the 4 things it takes to get money, all right? It doesn't take money to make money, all right? We can't even make money. It's illegal for us to make money, right? So it doesn't take money to get money, right? Takes these 4 things that everybody on this planet is endowed with by God, okay? Next, money can't buy happiness. This statement is partially true, right? And financial security can lead to happiness by reducing stress and providing freedom, right? Money doesn't buy happiness, but it does buy you the things, gives you the experience, puts you in the network, right? That those things will lead to happiness, okay? Money itself cannot buy you happiness, but it does provide you with the resources to achieve happiness, if that makes sense at all, right? Also, another misconception that we've been taught that is ingrained with us is that money isn't everything. Money isn't everything. We often hear that money isn't everything, but what does that really mean though, right? This is the half truth, right? Why money isn't the only important thing is essential for securing basic needs and creating opportunities. Money, like I've been saying, is a tool, all right? Money can be used as a tool to enhance life, provide for loved ones, and contribute to society as a whole, right? The true value of money lies in what it enables you to do, right? Like pursue passion, support family, and really make a difference on this planet, right? While money isn't everything, it is a powerful enabler that can significantly impact our lives when managed wisely. You heard that? Manage it wisely, okay? All over the world, right, these misconceptions can prevent people from taking control of their financial lives and achieving their full potential. When you look at Black Swan events, when Black Swan events and something like COVID-19 is a Black Swan event, 9/11 is a Black Swan event. Black Swan events are events that occur, and when they do occur, right, they're not planned, right? When they do occur, they change the world for not for the better, right? For some for the better, for the majority for the worse, right? When Black Swan events happen, it's those with no control of their finances, they're the ones that lose the most, right? They're the ones that are most affected. And those that have control of their finances, okay, they actually thrive in Black Swan events because they plan for these events, right? Because one thing that history has shown us is that there's always going to be an economic crisis on the horizon. Okay, so you always want to be preparing, just like we're preparing as traders and as investors, as speculators, as fund managers. We're always preparing for the losses because we know that's the only thing promised to us, right? We're always preparing for the losses. In life, you should always be preparing for that economic crisis that's on the horizon, that's coming. That's one thing that history has shown us to consistently be happening, right? And as time goes on, they're actually happening quicker and quicker. The time between one Black Swan event to the next Black Swan event is shrinking. It's shrinking as time goes on, okay? So now more than ever, we need to be preparing and overly preparing for the next. We're currently right now in a Black Swan environment, right? With everything that's going on around the world, we're in a Black Swan environment. The next Black Swan event is on the horizon. It's coming, and we need to be prepared for it. I feel like that's like one of my missions on this planet, right? To help people realize that this is happening, they need to be prepared, right? Even if it doesn't happen, as long as you're prepared when it happens, you know, it's not going to affect you as much, right, as somebody that didn't prepare or somebody that wasn't even aware that something is happening in the world, right? I think we're going to end it here today on misconceptions, and Friday we'll carry on with the only two things that we need to know about money. And because I'm ready to end my session here today, I'm ready to end my session today. It's been a solid morning, okay? Obviously, this wouldn't have given us an entry, so there would be nothing for us to do. We did get this beautiful setup here, though. So, yeah. 3 solid setups that I would have engaged. 2 I did engage. 1 was a loser, 1 was a winner. Obviously, now, looking back at it, I know to wait for post opening range on NFP Mondays, right? Well, we're collecting data on it anyway. We're collecting data on it. Let's do a trade performance review. But before we do that, let's do a quick rundown of our trades for this morning, and then we'll end it here for the morning here on NFP Monday, Money and Mindset Monday. Not a bad morning. Took a L 154, made it back 210. Okay, so up on the morning so far. Just a little bit over break even. So we took open range buy side, confirmed our buys for the session as a buy program here. Okay, came back below into an inefficiency. Okay, took liquidity below it, market structure shift back above it. I believe that was a trade. Yep, that was a buy. It was a buy, right? I was in. Oh no, it was a sell. Took a sell. Why did I take a sell? Okay, for that buy, I'll be waiting for this market structure shift, right? We didn't get it until here. What's the high here? What's the high? 821, 821, 821, 821. So why did I take a sell? Why did I take a sell? There was no liquidity rate above that external liquidity. I could argue that this still could potentially be a V-shape entry, but not really. I would like V-shape to be a one-time thing, not multiple things like this. So that's pretty much on me, actually. During this review of this trade that we were in, there was no really confirmation, no setup here for me to engage in it, which is why I took a loss, right? So that's fair, that's valid. For the sell that I took, right? I don't know why I took this sell. I don't know what made me think that this was a valid sell, because we didn't even take a market structure shift back above here. This would have been, these two were the same highs. Arguing that this was a V-shaped entry doesn't even make sense, because I would want it to be like a whoop, like this on the 1 minute. Even though it does this, it comes back up, it does this. This I'll enjoy more than this one, because we had three swings at the top there, and this one's 2, right? Boom, boom, fair value gap there. Interesting. Okay. So that was on me. Probably pulled the trigger too early there on that one. There's a lot going on. Boom. For the buys, I was waiting for this market structure shift. Then we took a low. Obviously, they did not at 50. I'll be waiting for post 10.53 to anticipate something. Right here, we took buy side here, market structure shift here. That would have been the only setup. Okay. So now looking back at this trade, all right, it wasn't a valid entry and it wasn't a valid setup, hence why I took the loss. So that's on me, that's on the trader, right? Because I would have required a market structure shift back above. Even if it was supposed to be a V shape, there's no like strong V shape that I would really trust here, because we have this high, relatively equal highs here. So all right, that was on me, fair enough. Looking back at it, this would have been the only trade valid, and it wouldn't have tagged me in. So that's fair. That's fair. That is 100% fair. Probably rushed into something there that wasn't there. Cool. Fair enough. Now I know, right? If I didn't do the review, I wouldn't have actually realized that this wasn't even a valid entry. Oh, mate. That's cool. That's good. That's on me. That's on me. That's on the trader. I'll take that on the chin. Obviously, no worries. Okay, didn't realize it wasn't a valid setup at the time, but looking back at it, it wasn't a valid setup, really and truly. So there was no need for me to be in this trade. That's fair. That's on the trader. I accept that. That was an unnecessary loss that I took there, but it is what it is. That will happen. I need to be more aware, all right, more aware of what's happening, what I'm looking for in price, so those things don't continuously happen. Okay, for V shape, I do want to see a prominent V shape. That wasn't really much of a prominent V shape. We had multiple highs up there. I really wanted to see a market structure, a liquidity rate above the external liquidity, and then a market structure shift. But we didn't have that. Okay, so and I can't even argue a V-shaped entry there. So there's no argument there. Like, what was I even going through? What was I thinking? Anyway, post opening range. Okay, obviously our condition was still a buy program for the day. Okay, but as you can see here, we took open range session the sell side, confirming our session program as a sell program, going against our weekly. Okay, we came back into an M1 inefficiency. Okay, and the market structure shift back below the external liquidity. We also have dealing range sell side below price as a drawn liquidity, potentially confirming a continuation sell setup. Right, this is valid. This meets all the criteria, unlike the first one that we looked at. Okay, that was an unnecessary loss. That's fair. In terms of risk, right, obviously I put my risk up here, but looking at price action here on the 15 seconds, there was no inefficiencies in that leg here. Okay, so stop above this candlestick here. The middle candlestick in the fair value gap would have been obviously fair as well, which I did adjust to that one. But yeah, continuation setup, saw it, engaged, gave you another opportunity here using opening range. So using dealing range sell side. All right, we took dealing range sell side, confirmed our flipped our daily session from buy program to a sell program in line with the session program. Okay, we came back up into an inefficiency, took buy side above it actually here. Okay, market structure shift back below, gave you initial entry here, and we also, this was the one that was prominent for me. I didn't really notice this one till after the fact. Okay, but gave you another re-entry. Okay, I'm currently not in the process of re-entering, all right, but obviously we're collecting data, building experience, and as I build more confidence in the re-entries, I'll be able to engage in that. But for now, I'm not a re-entry trader. I'm a one type of, I enter and that's it. I don't re-enter. I don't like get back in and stuff. But obviously, as I grow and gain more experience, I am yapping and I am yapping over here, and I. All right, catch you later. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. I wanted to end a little bit early, but I'm gonna end up ending at the regular time. I didn't even see your message though, but oh yikes! Big yapper. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Appreciate you. My number one supporter right there. Anyway, gave me another re-entry, and as you can see, came down into a previous daily low. Okay, gave this is the kind of V-shaped entry that I like, right? Just a one-time thing, like boom, we hit that external liquidity, whatever it is, and quick displacement up. All right, market structure shift. This is the V shape that I would have loved to see. That if I saw this, I could have argued the first trade, but I can't even argue the first trade. It was just not a valid trade, and that's why I took a loss. And it is what it is. But yeah, this trade ended up doing what it did. All right, that was my two trades for the morning. One winner, one loser. I'm out of the market, and then I decided to watch the rest. This obviously wouldn't have been a trade that I would personally engage in because it's outside of my trading times. But obviously, it's still morning session, right? It's still valid. Still a valid setup, right? But for me, I'm strict on my entry times and when or what times I want to be taking a trade, and this is not a time that I really want to be taking a trade. Obviously, it doesn't mean that you can't take a trade these times, right? It's personal preference. Trading is a solo sport, okay? We watched this, okay? This was beautiful, gave you multiple re-entries there. And then post 10:30, obviously I was waiting for this. Down here is when I would be anticipating the continuation to the downside. Wouldn't have given me an entry anyway. Once it took that sell side, we came back below external liquidity. I'm targeting open range buy side right now. I'm starting to see the correlation between open range highs and lows. Like once the other side is taken, price usually gravitates to the other side with the opening range, not dealing range, specifically with opening range. Once one side is taken, price typically wants to seek the other side, and that's something that is becoming prominent in my data collection that I've been noticing. So I'm paying more attention. There, right? So that might be all I need, right? I might have an account just for that, all right? Just for that. But anyway, last trade of the morning session for us here that we saw, all right? We didn't obviously partake in it, right? It's like we're back at external liquidity, all right? This was open range session sell side. We took liquidity below it, all right? Displaced, market structure shift above it, confirming a retracement setup here. Okay, give us an entry, and right now we would be at negative 2.5, all right? Target is open range buy side, okay, right there, and above that we have previous daily high as a drawn liquidity, okay. Came back down, expected this inefficiency, premium. Yeah, drawn liquidity right now, right, is open range buy side, and potentially depending on how price behaves there, we have previous daily high. So I'm watching this setup going into a lunch session. And trade performance review, what I did well today is that I showed up, right? I got 1% better, gained experience, learned lessons that I'll take into my next trading day, next trading session, stayed disciplined in following my processes, my procedures and protocols, and didn't deviate from it, right? I got my 2 trades and I didn't feel no type of way about getting back into the market even when the setups were, very clean. This one was clean. Yeah, post 10:30 setup, this was clean right here. This was the one, right? This was the one. But I'm happy with my 2 trades per session and done regardless of the outcomes, right? I take one winner. If it's a winner, if the first one is a winner, I'm practically done for the morning, right? But if it's a loss, I allow myself another opportunity to get back in, okay? And that's how I'm going to do it moving forward, because we'll just see. Yeah, that's how I'm going to do moving forward. And obviously as I gain more experience, build more confidence, we'll adjust as we need to, and we'll increase the risk as we need to. For now, solid day. Where I fell short today, woke up at a decent hour, got my morning routine in, showed up today. Actually, I did fall short on the chart here today, all right? I showed up today, I did my job, all right, but I did fall short in terms of my setup, right? It was a false setup. I don't know what I was thinking at the time, right? So I would say this setup, obviously wasn't a setup for me personally, but obviously I did engage in it. So I would say I fell short in terms of not paying attention as to what was happening in the price action, not being aware. Actually, wait. The reason why I did enter, backtrack, I just realized why I took this setup, is because, right? All right, above external liquidity, we did take liquidity above here, right? It was Asia session buy side, right? So that was the liquidity that was taken above external liquidity, okay? So when we had the market structure shift back below, it made it valid, okay? So that's why. Okay. Now I feel better about this setup. Okay, so it wasn't an invalid setup. It was a valid setup because we took buy side above external liquidity and we got market structure shift back below, okay? So that released a bit of tension for me there. It was valid, and now I know what I was thinking of when I took this trade. So chart wise, I don't think I fell short anywhere. Fair enough, because that's the trade I've taken before and it panned out. This one just happened to have not panned out. It is what it is. Yeah, that was fair. That was valid. How I can improve for next day, next trading session is just keep showing up, right? Keep seeking excellence in everything that I do. Don't let short-term adversity, series of losses deter me, distracting me from what I got going on here. I got a solid foundation of what I'm looking for. All right, the results are starting to speak for themselves in terms of my trades and my results. So I'm very happy and pleased with where I'm at in my trading. All right, just keep showing up. Keep taking small steps in the right direction. Eventually, we'll get to our destination. Analyze the data. I didn't do really good this weekend of back testing because I didn't really back test, but I'm gonna go back into last week and back test. Okay, so Analyze the data, analyze the data. I can't let up because analyzing the data and extracting potential information that I need to extract, that's what's shown me, that's what like led me to where I'm at today, and powered me up really and truly, just improved my analyst and my trader. But other than that, that's it from us this morning. Like I said, I'm watching how price gravitate towards open range buy side going into lunch session because that's my current draw on liquidity right now. And obviously we went over that trade. It was a valid setup. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that one because we did take liquidity above external liquidity, so made it valid. NFP Monday, Money and Mindset Monday, smashed 11-11. Let's wrap this up. Catch you on the flip side tomorrow, all right? Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. There was a time that I would finish a trading session, feel lost. Money, I didn't really know. And on losing days, I had no system. That's the difference between guessing and having a real edge. And here's the truth. Most traders only focus on entries, but consistency comes from the system behind the entry. So if you've been watching and thinking this makes sense, but I don't have the full system yet, that's exactly why I created the 10% to 1% club. That's where we go deeper into all three pillars, the full model, the risk management system, the money and mindset principles needed to join the 1% club, and the exact process to follow daily. If you're serious about becoming consistent, that is your next step. I used to think the goal was to win more trades, but the real goal is to become the type of trader who can perform no matter the outcome. Because once you have that, the results will follow. That's all for today, folks. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the next AM session, kicking off at 9:15 a.m. Kickoff once again at 9:15 a.m. To be on time is to be late, okay? So make sure you show up early. As always, I'm the trader here, signing out. Good luck, good trading. Happy bloody hunting. Remember, you only fail when you quit.